Welcome back, everyone. It's here. And today I've got some r/BestOf for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This post was clicked by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, "Saying is not a pogo stick. The original P is throw RA panic 191. Originally posted to r/relationship advice September 23rd, 2021. Significant other, 29 female, of almost 2 years is ghosting me, 30 male, out of the blue, a week before we are supposed to start our new lease. I don't understand. We've been a couple for almost 2 years now, 2 years in November. I thought everything was going fine, etc. We signed a lease last month for renting a home with a move-in date of November. Last weekend, we had planned to go visit her parents a few hours away. On Friday, she called me and sounded pretty upset. She said she needed a weekend by herself to think and sort out feelings. She didn't seem to want to volunteer any information. I said that was fine, and she said she would call me on Sunday or when she sorted out her thoughts and feelings. Saturday evening, I texted her, "Are you feeling better? Do you want to talk or do you need anything?" She responded with, "Please just leave me alone now." I was pretty hurt by how blunt the message was and just dropped it. She didn't call me Sunday, so I let her be. Monday evening, I sent her another text, asking what's going on, and got no response. I called her Tuesday, and my phone calls were going immediately to voicemail. I got extremely concerned, so I drove out to her apartment and noticed her car was missing. So I decided to send a Facebook message to some of her friends I knew. It was at that point that I realized she was no longer on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. I sent a message to a few of her friends who I knew. One finally got back to me late last night and said, "I need to learn to know when I've been dumped, and I need to move on with my life and leave her alone." Today, I received a text message from one of her friends telling me my ex said she was able to convince the landlord to remove her from the lease, and she paid 6 months her share of the rent out of her own pocket. Any of my things she had of mine were just left with my parents. Anything I have of hers can be thrown out. That's it. My parents had no idea what was going on. It wasn't my ex, it was someone my parents are not familiar with came by and gave it to them without explaining anything before leaving. I don't understand. We went out last Wednesday and had a great time. She stayed at my place. I don't understand why she was upset on Friday. Am I missing something? I feel confused, panicked, and I just feel lost. I got no goodbye. I don't understand. Too long didn't read, my significant other of 2 years ghosted me, and I don't know why or understand at all. Relevant comments, Fascination Street. Oh, wow, you have no hidden stuff that she may have found out? Cheating? A kid you didn't tell her about? Massive debt? Criminal record? OP responds, no. No skeletons in my closet, never cheated or anything. The only thing I remember is about 3 months ago when we were having sex, I blurted out that I loved her. I really did. She got awkward and told me she wasn't ready for that yet. Fascination Street responds, at 2 years she wasn't ready to hear you say that you love her? Are you sure the two of you are dating? OP responds, she has been introducing me as her boyfriend for ages now, and we signed a lease for a house together. We have pretty much been spending 5 out of the 7 days of the week together, for months now. I know it was weird, but she said she wasn't ready and said she would tell me when she is ready. Has OP met her family? Maybe contact them. I've met her parents a grand total of 2 times so far, and both were very short affairs, e.g. dinner since they live quite far away, but I did write her mother via Facebook and explained how weird it was as suggested. I'll explain if I can get anything, or if she even uses Facebook still. Has OP cheated on the girlfriend? Never cheated. I was extremely happy with her. We had common hobbies. We got along great. We were sexually compatible, etc. I was very happy and had no reason. I guess that could happen. I guess I'm just confused by the time frame. We were playing games until late Thursday night, and we spent Wednesday together, and she seemed fine. I don't know. Update, September 30th, 2021, 1 week later. I posted this last Thursday, here's the link. Got a lot of good advice and wanted to thank everyone. The entire situation has pretty much left me pretty goddamn miserable and just frustrated in general. On Sunday, she sent me a very long message via email, pretty much explaining what happened. Pretty much, it boiled down to, well, she wanted to try having a serious relationship with her friend. Her friend is the same person who sent me the extremely blunt message about her dumping me. Apparently, for a year before we started dating, she was having an on-again, off-again relationship with her. I never knew this, and nobody ever mentioned it. Apparently, it wasn't serious, and they broke it up because her friend got cold feet about actual commitment. I never actually knew how close my ex and her friend were, but I'm probably just dumb. She says she never cheated on me, but apparently the night right after I saw her, her friend confessed to my ex when she heard about us moving in together. I don't know. According to her, she needed to give this a try because she's apparently in love with her and has been for years. She said she was a coward and really sorry. She also offered to be friends in the future, just not now. I rejected that. Anyways, that aside, and now, we had a bit of communication. We both signed a lease amendment, taking her off the lease. She also sent me the money for a chunk of the rent for the year, as she felt she needed to make stuff right somehow. I'm still going to move into the house as I can pay the rent myself, even without her help. Honestly, at the end of it all, I guess I was just way more into her than she was into me, and I never really noticed it. Considering how often this friend was around, I probably should have noticed something, I guess. However, I will say that personally, even before this, I found her friend to be pretty manipulative. And I doubt it's going to work out how she thinks it will. But I'm done with her. Too long didn't read, she wants to try a serious relationship with her friend. That girl's gonna get her heart broken. Deservedly so, though, with how she treated OP. But the thing is, that friend waited until she was about to make a major decision and possibly cement herself out of that friend's reach for good. So that's when she dropped the ball. And then she's also the one that sent the blunt message of get a clue, dude, come on. Yeah, fuck her. She knew what she was doing throughout the entirety of it. There is no way she didn't know how the ex felt. She kept her on a leash, and the moment that she felt that maybe the leash might slip away, she pulled it in as close as possible, and took advantage of your ex's unresolved feelings that she was struggling with, which were definitely a lot of unresolved feelings, because the fact that she just dropped off the face of the earth and didn't know how to talk to you about it. And she knew it was wrong too, because she paid for her rent up front, trying to essentially make things right. She took steps to make sure that, she's definitely doing something wrong, but at least she's not the villain in this. We can still be friends, right? Good on OP for not accepting her request at a continued friendship, because, that would just be inviting further pain. At least in the end, though, OP found out why. It's just so stupidly selfish. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, "Satan is not a pogo stick." The original OP's Throw RA Armadillo 25 posted r/relationship advice January 24th, 2025. How do I handle my boyfriend, male 35, who takes time for his new female friend? But not for me, female 34. Throwaway. I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years. We do not live together, but he spends most of his free time at my place. We don't live together because his poor credit prevents him being on a lease for a bigger place we would need, and I don't want the financial burden on my salary alone. A lot of his freelance work is evenings and weekends, while I work a 9-to-5 middle management job with industry association activities on the side. Hence, we don't get to spend a lot of time together. At best, we see each other for a few hours in the evening and maybe a full day every other weekend when he's not with his 16-year-old twins. The evenings are usually me making food, him coming to eat, talk about his day, and sleep. Sometimes he prefers us to go out to eat, and sometimes he asks for advice on how to get more work. I have encouraged and coached him to grow his engagement significantly over the last few years. Several months ago, he connected with a female friend over a joint hobby. He's starting to hang out with her more and more. He joins her at the gym multiple times per week now. When I'm unavailable, he started to go out with her and her female friends and stays out late. I would not have a problem with that if he didn't want to be in bed, sleeping within 2 hours of coming to see me, and shuts down around my friends. He tells me how great she is, how they can bond over similarly tough life experiences, living on low income, how easy she is to talk to, how similar their sense of humor is. For me, he says he feels he needs to try to be a better man because I have a better job, educate myself constantly. That it's a good thing. But it's draining. He arranged a job interview for her. He bought her sports gear and organized some household items because she doesn't have money and would need them. He also took some of mine. Now he delays work in favor of activities with her, but when I ask him to spend time with me, he always tells me he needs a couple of hours of time back because he'll need to do some work. When I call him out on it, he says it's context dependent and that I don't understand or that I don't get to tell him when he can or can't do work. He gets really defensive, aggressive, and mean when I bring it up. We're having more and more arguments over stupid things like him not appreciating the tone of my question via text or saying my friends don't respect him and consider him inferior to them. In all the interactions he had with my friends, that was never the case. When I said I'm uncomfortable with how much time he spends with her, he first said that I have nothing to say because I've done day trips with my best friend at the beginning of our relationship. My friend was going through a rough divorce. And then told me that he does activities with her because I'm not available when he has time during the day. He admitted that he would be uncomfortable with me spending that much time with a male friend. I feel increasing frustration. I talked to him about this multiple times. He assures me that he loves me and wants to spend his life with me, and that I'm just jealous he finally found a friend he likes. He refuses counseling or any kind of relationship work from materials, online, or books. Says it's too complicated and things should just work naturally. I don't know what to do anymore. How do I handle this? Too long didn't read. My boyfriend, male 35, of 5 years, spends increasing amounts of time and effort with his new female friend while telling me he's too tired / has to work when I, female 34, want quality time with him. He gets defensive and aggressive when I call out the discrepancy. He refuses to do counseling or any relationship work. Relevant comments. Snoo Recipes 9891. I don't like the fact that he invalidates your feelings with it just being jealousy. You may not be jealous of her, but definitely the time he spends with her that takes away time from you. You barely get enough of his time to sustain anything, and the fact that he's adding another woman into the mix shows that he doesn't prioritize your relationship the same way you do. Him future faking to get past this issue isn't good. Is he even capable of a healthy relationship and being a team? Opie responds, "Thank you, you got it. I'm not jealous of her, but the time he spends with her and not with me. Recently, he left my bed early, saying he needs to work, and then went to a gym class she recommended. He couldn't have gotten any work done that morning and got snappy when I asked him about it. I think he's capable of being a team, but not really willing to compromise on anything he wants, or he does the minimum effort required." Opie's response to a long comment. Thank you very much for your answer. I think you might be right. He does have a streak of trying to make himself above / better than others. We've discussed it before, as I very much have the opinion that we're all worthy of respect regardless of who we are or what we do, and we clash on this. I can totally see how he would appreciate someone's company who is also struggling like he is, or was, and helping her boosts his ego. I haven't met her. I haven't even seen a photo of her. She's not on his socials or not under the name he refers to her with. The majority of the blame is on him. He chooses to spend that much time with her. When he was jealous of my best guy friend, I significantly stepped back from that relationship and almost completely stopped hanging out with him. He's reluctant to do the same even after me telling him repeatedly, I'm not okay with what he's doing. To be honest, it hurts. He argues with me about really trivial things now. My tone of voice is not okay. An innocent question like, how are you? Is too sterile for him and lacks personality. He says I have negative opinions and attitudes of him and his upbringing, which I never expressed. I've asked repeatedly what is going on, and I get no answer. I'm thinking about ending our relationship. Love is in actions, and I don't feel his actions as loving. I have a feeling that he's emotionally connecting with her, but he likes the comfort of being taken care of and supported by me. We are kind of living together without living together. He spends his mornings and evenings at mine, and he does his stuff at his when I'm at work, but I feel more and more like I'm running a hotel. I really have to kick and scream to get any help with groceries or chores, and when I do, they're done with the minimum possible effort and maximum complaining. There's no engagement, marriage, or sharing a lease for me until he clears his debts, and he knows it. He just doesn't take any actions towards that. Thanks again for your opinion. I really appreciate it. Update, June 16th, 2026, 17 months later. After writing the last post, I took the advice to heart. I started setting my own boundaries, taking care of myself. As I stepped back from carrying all the weight of the relationship, he took 2 steps back. I asked him to take more responsibility. Simple things like making meals, planning activities, making time for us. I let him know when I wasn't happy with the results. Another grocery list forgotten. Him promising to make dinner but canceling our plans at the 11th hour. Making plans for myself if none made by him caused me being busy if he proposed something the last minute. Another weekend where he wanted to spend the afternoon napping and then working on his projects. He got increasingly frustrated with me. According to him, I criticized him for everything, and he felt like a constant failure. Me crying about being exhausted, increasingly alone, and feeling like I have a teenager in my life, not a partner, didn't seem to matter. He kept going out with his friend, hanging out, working out, going out, and making less and less time for me. He wouldn't make time for me, but then, a few days later, took her on a whole day trip. It dawned that my patience for his busy schedule was dumb. He found the time for what he had interest in, which wasn't me. After that, I put my foot down, asked to be treated with kindness, respect, consideration, and priority. He broke up with me 2 days later, telling me life with me was boring and he needed more excitement. He did get it. A month or so after our breakup, he started dating her. She dumped him 3 months later. From what I heard in those 3 months, they've talked about children, moving together. According to him, she said she needed someone more present in the relationship, and he was happy to leave as she wanted a man to fix her life instead of a partner. A couple of weeks after their breakup, he started reaching out to me, saying how he misses me, how he messed up, how he knows now what he let slip through his fingers, how he wanted to start again, how he got himself into therapy and is a different man. I saw him a couple of times out of politeness, but he kept coming back. Earlier this year, I agreed to be his friend and meet him from time to time. I told him I don't want to get back together with the guy I was with. If he has indeed changed, then I need to get to know the new guy. We've been meeting for drinks from time to time, but I don't see the change he was talking about. Too long didn't read, he broke up with me when I stood up for myself and now wants me back, saying he's changed and working on himself. But I don't see a lot of it happening. Girl, I'm gonna be real with you, don't buy his bullshit. He's just lying. He just wants you back because you actually took care of him and were doing a lot of the stuff that he was too lazy to do. When he found the girl of his dreams, quote unquote, and found out that, shit, she's just like I was. That's not gonna work, and then things fell apart. Now he wants to weasel his way back into the easy street relationship that you provided for him. Find someone who actually, fucking respects you and isn't this guy. This guy can go. He can be gone. Shoo. I gotta be real here because the math is 100% math in here. This guy had a friend who was a girl and he was spending more time with you with, to the point where he even took a whole day vacation with her and didn't once prioritize you, the girl he was in a relationship with. You couldn't find her socials. You never met her. You've never even seen a picture of her. And when you guys broke up, a month later, they were together and apparently talking about children. The math here is pointing to the fact that he was cheating on you. De facto, emotionally, potentially, physically. Keep his ass in the doghouse where he belongs. This post was collected by Garden Geo. The original OP is Infinite Ad 1735, posted on r/mytheasshole May 19th, 2025. There are some contextual notes from Garden Geo. Bengali is a language and people group, eastern part of India. Desi, meaning someone from the land or country, refers to folks from South Asia. Am I the asshole for telling my ex's mom that I would never marry into their Orthodox family and making her cry? Throw away. I'm still reeling from this myself. We're Indians, and respecting our elders is drilled to us firsthand, but this feels crazy to me. Ex, 24 male, and I, 23 female, dated for a year in high school. A year, and I got good grades and entrance tests, left for a good university, moved for higher studies abroad, and I swear, I haven't seen or heard from this guy after leaving high school. Last I heard from old school friends was that he was doing a very good job in his career. I haven't been home in 2 years, so I came back to see my parents, and because of some issues, I'm stuck here for an extra month. Again, we grew up in different circles. My parents were never friends with my ex's mom, who, since we were in middle school, would hound my mother in parent-teacher conferences on how nice it must be to come to your daughter's school in AC cars, and how my ex's family could never do that because they're humble people. My dad takes nobody's barbs, and after that, he would loudly ask my ex's parents every time he saw them if they needed to be dropped off somewhere. And I found out later that his mom used to tell my friends, if I was not there, that my parents were show-offs. Still, she was nice to me. My entire school, both my ex and I, competed to be the highest in class. We came from a pretty large town, but went to the same school for years, and I was one of his closest friends. I also happen to be the eldest daughter of a brown household with a mother who has been sick for years, and I've been picking up slack since I was 11. When I lived at home, I used to handle the majority of chores, took care of my younger sister, and managed my studies. I didn't do it to get recognition, and my parents never told me to do all of these. They were just constantly in and out of hospitals. But my ex's mom got it into her head that I would be the perfect daughter-in-law. Mind you, I was a kid. Her son was a kid. We were in high school, and even though we are a fairly progressive community, Bengalis, he came from a severely conservative family where women never worked. House help was not allowed, and you can't wear anything except traditional wear. I would literally rather stab myself in the eye than have been married to him. And telling my ex this is what led to our breakup. Ex's mom saw me after a long time when I was out with my mom and sister at a function, immediately hugging me, telling me how pretty I've become, etc. I was very respectful and made small talk, then went away. Except the next day, she calls my dad up and sends her son's match to me. She told my dad I'm not getting any younger, her son is doing very good. And she's known for years how responsible and talented I am at household work. How this was the best opportunity for X and me. My dad passed the phone to me and told me to handle this myself. At first, I was very polite and told her I didn't see her son that way and that I lived abroad and was not going to marry for at least 5 years. She got mad at that and told me her son liked me a lot and I should be respectful of my elders and that she was praising me. So I should be considerate of her proposal. I was just done, and I told her our family would not accept her son, and there was no way I was going to marry into her ultra-conservative family. I told her not to bring this up ever again and hung up. My ex calls me after years. We hadn't blocked each other because the breakup wasn't that bad, but he was so mad that apparently I made his mom cry, and how I'm so high up on my own horse that I'm looking down on him. I told him his mom was ridiculous, and why on earth would she ever think I'd sacrifice my happiness to be a slave to his family? We got into a pretty nasty fight, and I ended up telling him to go cry in his mother's lap. I think there'll be more drama after because I know he and his mom are people who go around spreading misinformation. But my own mom thinks I was too rude. She says I could have handled it more respectfully or made up a lie. My mom is a very soft-hearted person, and she feels I've made my ex's mom feel lesser than us. 2 of my old school friends, I don't talk to them, send me texts on how they expected better of me, and this is why they don't like me. I don't care. But the fact that my mom thinks that I was wrong is making me feel really bad. Am I the asshole? Comments. Comment 1, not the asshole. There is no nice way of saying no to people like this. She was going to get nasty and cry to every single response except yes. Don't worry about it. Anyone who sides with her is just revealing that they're not the kind of people you want anything to do with. Commenter 2, not the asshole. Look, I get the Desi guilt about making aunties upset, but look at it this way. Her expectations not being met led her to get nasty and you to get firm on shutting her down, which led to her crying. Her emotions are not your problem. Your former friends getting in touch just to let you know that this is why they don't like you? Not your problem. Maybe they like your ex and hope to use this to butter up his mom. Who knows? Who cares? You don't care, and that's great. Your mom is a kind person and felt bad some random lady cried. Great. Your mom is sweet and cares for other random people. You can appreciate your mom's gentle nature while accepting you know what you want, and more importantly, what you don't want. Enjoy your time visiting and remember your dad asked you to handle it yourself, which you did. You're an adult and handled it well. Your internet stranger friend is proud of you. Commenter 3, not the asshole. You are respectful to your elders, but she is not your elder. Your parents are. Marrying into a family that has been bad-mouthing your parents would be disrespectful to your parents Your elders. You should tell her this. You know he speaks badly of them to your back. So, make her accountable and make it her fault, because it is. Sure, there are more reasons, but this is a reason that is valid even in her world. Don't let her play victim. She wants to pretend that she's your elder and has a right to force you. But she is not. Neither she can force you. So, tell this to everyone. She talked badly about your parents, so you don't want to marry into a family that has disrespected your elders. Repeat that over and over again. Since many people she would go to complain about you would be the same people she talked badly about your parents, chances are some of them blame her and let you be. Additional details from OP in the comments. Is mom a people pleaser? OP responds, my mom was the youngest daughter of a pretty conservative family, bullied her entire life and hardly ever raised her voice. But she fought with her entire family to marry my dad for love. She's very soft-spoken and very kind-hearted. The idea of someone feeling bad because of her is unacceptable. I have been also called very well-behaved since I was a kid, and this is one of the rare instances where my mom is not on my side. I understand that she's still very sheltered, but she's my mom, which is why I'm doubtful. Does mom want OP to marry the ex? My mom in no way, shape, or form wants me to marry at all. She is much more career-oriented than my dad, and I have always had full support from her to do whatever I want. In this case, it was about rudeness. My mom was like, I know they're crazy, but you could have let them down more politely. What if they go around telling people we're snobs? OP in response to about ex. I don't know why on earth my ex even let his mom send the match, because we literally broke up because I wouldn't have adjusted to a future with him. We had this convo when we were 17. Yes, my dad is kind of the best. He has always been like, tell people off of me because if I start talking, I'll curse them out. The problem has never been my dad. Even when I asked my ex what exactly was he thinking, not stopping his mom from calling my dad, he got even more mad and accused me of thinking that my family is above everyone. Update, 11 days later. I booked a ticket, and I'm going back home to my city in 2 weeks. I would have stayed longer, but there are too many cultural programs around this time of year, and, well, as much as I love my parents, I love my late-night walks with my friends and walking and eating whatever, which living under your parents' roof is not possible. Ex's mom called my mom after getting her number from the old parents' WhatsApp group of my high school. This woman is crazy. My mom is scared she may be one of those psychotic ones. She called my mom and told her they got off on the wrong foot, and she got too excited at the prospect of me being in the family. But her son said he wouldn't marry anyone else, so please consider. My mom told her she would never ask me to marry a man who did not have the guts to talk to me myself, and got his mother to do his work for him. Yay, mom! My mom had a very stern tone towards her then. She told both my ex and his mom that since we are snobs, then these snobs are not ruining their daughter's life by forcing her to marry into such a conservative, problematic household. And yes, since they think we think of them as lower than us, they are lower than us. So they should stop bothering us because we are such awful people and they're so humble. I knew letting my ex piss off my mom was the right move because she's actually terrifying when mad. My sister and I were laughing when Ma was on call, so I didn't hear the last part, but she told me she handled it, and I should focus on my work and not let such idiots bug me again. Turns out it was my ex's idea, as I suspected, and he made his mom harass me to agree to be with him again. I still don't understand why, because my ex had made it very clear how much he hates me and everything I stand for. He said my independence would make me a horrible wife. I'm selfish and can't love anyone, etc. Every time I replied, I can love you, you're just not worth it, he would yell at me. Our breakup all those years ago, looking back, seems pretty funny to me. I had a trusted mutual friend deliver a sober message to my ex that I did not like him. I stopped liking him at 17 and have always considered him an annoyance at best. There was no way anything was happening, and he should apologize to his mom for embarrassing her. From what I heard back, he was told our friend he understood and wouldn't bother me again. So, there's that. As much as I like drama, I'm thinking of skipping it for the next couple of visits to my parents, so I think I'll ask them to come stay with me instead. Thank you for all the comments. I just need some insight, and those were very helpful. Comment from user CutieBoBooty, whose tagline is, I am far beyond the hetero plausibility deniability line. Quoting OP, I still don't understand why, because my ex had made it very clear how much he hates me and everything I stand for. He said my independence would make me a horrible wife, I'm selfish and can't love anyone, etc. Every time I replied, I can love you, you're just not worth it, he would yell at me. Our breakup all those years ago, looking back, seems pretty funny to me. It's because men like OP's ex aren't interested in meek girls who already do what they're told. They want someone whose wings they can break. Apologies for this pronunciation. Response from Hetalia. The way my mother always explained it, the traditional man wants a woman to be subservient, but he never falls in love with subservient women. He's attracted to independent women. He's like an exotic bird collector, she said. He only wants a woman who's free because his dream is to put her in a cage. Trevor Noah, Born a Crime, Stories from a South African Childhood. I felt those two comments carried the message far better than I ever could have. So that's why they're there. It does make me happy that some of the more oppressive cultures who don't believe that a woman should have the right to have a job or should just essentially be stay-at-home no matter what are slowly fading with time, and there are people who are growing up with more progressive outlooks on life, that everyone should be entitled to pursue their own dreams. On a side note, I always hate it when someone's like, well, what if their dream is to, be the next dictator or, cause a genocide? My brother in Christ, that's not a dream, that's a nightmare. And those weasels always crawl out of the woodwork when you're trying to argue that someone should be given equal rights to you. I hate to say it, buddy, but that says more about you and your mentality than it does them. This post was collected by Big O Nerd. The original OP is Throwaway, with zeros, 175, posted to r/TrueOffMyChest, June 1st, 2023. Simply titled, I'm Leaving Her Tonight. I've been with my partner for 3 years now. As always, things started off great. She has a daughter that I've grown to love as my own, even though her bio dad is still in the picture. I dropped everything for them. I got a bigger apartment, I switched jobs to make more money, I changed everything to give them the peace of mind they deserve. It was all better than I could have ever imagined. Until this weekend. That's when I found out she's been cheating on me with her sister's roommate. She didn't have a great relationship with her sister when we first met, and I'd encourage her to rekindle it because I knew it bothered her. Her sister is a free spirit, rarely holds down a job, drinks and does absurd amounts of coke and X just to pass the time. She lives with 4 guys who her and my partner have known since middle school. They seemed cool enough the few times I've hung out with them, so whenever she wanted to go hang out with her sister, I wouldn't bat an eye. I found out during our camping trip for Memorial Day weekend. When she was in the bathroom with her daughter, I grabbed her phone to look at some of the videos she had been taking, but admittedly, curiosity got the better of me, and I went through her messages. And that's when I saw her texts to the roommate. I felt almost paralyzed. It almost felt like I was going to black out, but I somehow managed to gather myself and chill out. I took some screenshots of the text to have as proof and put her phone back in her bag. I didn't say anything to her. We only had a few hours left before we came home, and I wanted to spend those hours with her daughter. The past few days, I've been thinking of what to do, and the best solution I can think of is just packing my stuff up and ghosting her. I'm quitting my job tomorrow morning, and after she's left for work, I'll grab my stuff and leave her with a printout of the messages I read. I'm still in a daze. My whole life is gone now. The future I saw for us is nothing, and I'm not sure how to process all of this still. I'm calling my brother a few states away to see if I can stay with him and set up shop elsewhere. Tonight, though, I have to lay down next to her, and I'm not sure I won't break down knowing what's going on. Comments. Snoo words 4839. Hugs in parentheses. It sucks, but be glad you aren't married. You'll find your happiness. Maybe leave a note for her daughter to say goodbye. OP responds, I have a picture that we took with Minnie at Disney that I keep in my wallet that I'll leave in her bed. I'd write a note, but she isn't reading all that well right now. The Noir Night 1. Man, I'm so sorry. I think at least tell the daughter you love her before you go. I feel for you. You know how much you can bear. I don't think you'll get any closure from confronting your ex. It'll just be excuses and maybe begging. Just be sure before you quit your job, but maybe changing things up will help you heal and go forward. I wish you happiness and good luck. OP responds, I'll definitely tell her. Thank you. Sabin Ren 84 comments, "Why are you quitting your job? She's the one who fucked up. You shouldn't penalize yourself even more." OP responds, "I really can't stay here anymore. It's not a big city, and I don't want to take the chance of seeing her anymore." Sabine Ren 84 responds further, "Makes sense to stay away from her, but you gotta think about your future. Is it easy for you to quickly find another job in a different state? Do you have any savings? Your life is not gone, and you need to plan your next steps now that you don't have a horrible person by your side." OP responds, "I work in tech, so it shouldn't be hard at all. Plus, I'd be moving to a bigger city. I do have some savings built up, so I won't be in a terrible position. It may be an overreaction, but right now I think it's worth it." Main post updates. Update 1. First, I want to thank everyone for their kind words and advice. I'm doing the best I can right now. I am meeting with my boss in an hour or so to wrap that up. I'm also taking the advice of talking to her baby's dad about me leaving. We have always had a good relationship, and I want to give him a heads up on what's coming. As far as the apartment goes, we only have 3 more months in the lease, and I'm planning on paying for the remaining months, mainly so her daughter has somewhere to stay for the time being. I made sure she knows that I love her and always will. Holding her this morning, knowing it was the last time I would ever see her, was the most difficult thing I've ever done, and it took everything inside of me to not sob while doing that. I'll update later once I have all my stuff and am away from the city. Thank you guys, you have no idea how comforting it is to have your kind words to come back to. Update 2. I know I said I would update when it was all over, but you guys are right. I should have a talk with her daughter before I go, so when her bio dad picks her up from daycare, I'll be meeting them and talking to her in person before I go. It means a lot that he's letting me do this, and hopefully it's just enough closure for her. Update 3. I met with bio dad and the little one. You guys are right. I really needed to have that conversation with her to let her know that even if I'm not there, that I'll always love her, and that it isn't her fault that I'm leaving. I did cry. I cried a lot, actually. I know I'll eventually fade from her memory and just become someone she has vague memories with, but I'll remember her until my last breath. I never knew I wanted kids until she came into my life and showed me what true and pure love is. I thanked her dad for letting me have that moment with her, and I gave him that Disneyland picture in case she ever asks about me. He is aware of what went down and who my ex is spending her time with. As for my ex, I left the screenshots on the kitchen table along with my key to the apartment. I blocked her number, and my family did the same. I also blocked my mutual friends' numbers in case she tries to reach me through them. It's crazy that I'm leaving behind the last 5 years of my life, but I honestly can't stay here. My brother is taking me out in LA until I figure out what my next move is. I'm off all social media, and once I get to my brother's, I'll change my number. I'm sorry if this update is anticlimactic, but that's how I wanted all of this to go down. I'll update you guys when I'm all settled down. I just want to say that I love them with every ounce of my being. I'll miss the walks around the apartment complex, the random trips to Walgreens, watching Sophia the First until I memorized the episode by heart, especially coming home from work and feeling like I mattered. Feeling like I had a purpose and that no matter what went on during my day, that all of that wouldn't matter once I opened that door. I'll miss all of it, but I know deep down I have to let go. Be safe, everyone. I'll try and update this soon. Update 4. I want to thank you guys for all the support and even the few negative comments that I got on this. It's nice knowing I wasn't completely alone through the early parts of this whole situation. I'm at my brother's now and still getting set up, but I'm hopeful that things will get better with time. I'll be honest, it's brutal right now, and I still get flooded with sadness constantly. On the drive here, I had to finally pull over and let it all out. I'm sure right now we would be having dinner or watching a movie, and instead, I'm on my brother's porch, trying to not cry while I type this out. I haven't heard anything from my ex yet, which is helping, but knowing her, she'll try and find a way to reach me. Everything reminds me of them. I saw a Little Mermaid poster earlier and almost lost it. I never got to take the little one to see it, and that just kills me. I do wonder what I was missing or where I came up short for this to happen. I've run circles around it and I can't explain it. I hope I heal fast from this because I've got a whole life to live. I hope I did enough for the little one to not have been hurt by all of this. I hope she keeps a sliver of me in her memory, and I hope she's loved like I loved her. Again, thank you all for the positivity and the encouragement. I'll make it out of this. I've done it before, and I'll do it again. Maybe I'll update this sometime in the future, or feel free to send me a message. Be safe, and I wish everyone the absolute best. Final update, after 25 days. June 26th, 2023. Hello everyone, I want to again say how appreciative I am for the positive comments and messages I've gotten. They've all really helped out in keeping me at least sane during this whole ordeal. I'm settling in as well as I can here in LA, even though it's a bit crazy. It has helped to distract me. I've not spoken to my ex still, but I did hop on a call with my old landlord who said that my ex did go a bit crazy for a few days after I left, but that eventually her family came and moved her out, and that he's not heard from her after that. I've thought about calling her daughter's bio dad to check in on the little one, but I keep reminding myself that I'm not really ready for that yet. I also don't want to give her hope that I'll be coming back around. Plus, that's not really my role anymore, as sad as it is to say that. I've given myself time to really feel everything I needed to feel for the time being. The sadness, the anger, the anxiety, the confusion, all of it. I did wonder how I was going to manage to put it all back together, but every day that passes, it gets easier. I know a day will come where I completely stop thinking of her completely, but for now, I find her in a lot of what I do. Her laugh, her aroma, her smile, everything. Some of the best times of my life were with her at my side, and it almost seems like I'm in a bad dream that I'm due to wake up from. I sincerely hope that she matures from this because she has a little girl depending on her. A little girl who looks up to her and loves her. My brother's condo is near Disneyland, and seeing all the families walking around is a bittersweet thing for me. Bitter because I wish that were me, but sweet because I know that will be me. Again, thank you to everyone for your kind words. I wish you all the absolute best. I'm actually kind of wondering what the negative comments OP was getting were in regards to. Like, was it just because he was walking away from the daughter without really, coming to have a conversation with her? Or were they, I guess, asking him to work through things? I don't know, kind of hard to say. But I think OP probably handled this in one of the best ways he could. Didn't cause too much drama, didn't start any fights. He saw that he was no longer really wanting the relationship by her, and, well, these are the consequences she gets. The man that your daughter was starting to see as potentially a second father is now gone because you would rather have a few nice nights with your sister's roommate from middle school. That's on you. Have fun explaining to your daughter when those slivers of memories begin popping up and she starts asking questions what happened, and the reason why that guy isn't around anymore is, well, because of what you did. Who knows, maybe she'll end up getting the answer from her biological father. And honestly, highly respectable from the bio dad to just be totally chill with OP wanting to see the daughter before heading out, and him also being completely understanding. Which now I'm also wondering if perhaps this is what caused them to originally break up in the first place. Honestly though, I just can't even fathom being so selfish that you don't even take into consideration your daughter's happiness. She has this wonderful influence in her life and you just toss it away. Well, I guess I really can't be too surprised for someone who's willing to cheat in a happy and healthy relationship, for them to just not even take into account their partner's feelings, let alone their daughter's feelings about what actions they're doing. For a fucking middle school friend who's roommates with your sister too. Outro! Outro? Probably the outro. Dude, I don't know anymore. Anyways, this is probably the outro, so I'd recommend using a code OZ at checkout with Gamersubs. That'd be super cool. You get 10% off of caffeine and caffeine-free and sleep aid stuff. So, if you want to support the channel and you like flavored water, you could always do caffeine-free. If you want to get some caffeine, you could always do the caffeine tubs. And if you want help sleeping, you could use the AFK, which, by the way, the AFK is a sleep aid first. Flavored second. It's still pretty good. I still love taking them, but, the whole purpose of those is to help you sleep. If you want the yummy flavors, then that's where the usual tubs come in. You can get free samples for all of those too, so that way you don't have to make a commitment to something that you end up not liking. But yeah, anyways, I'll catch y'all next time.